So the top length is 21 plus sewing allowance 20. Sorry, 20. Is it 20? 22. Okay, 22 plus sewing allowance is 20. Okay, so now the next thing you do is to cut out your top. Okay, so the neck, for the neck, the opening, the wideness of the neck is 3-inch allowance. 3-inch allowance for the wideness of the neck. Then it is going down with 4-inch allowance. So now you curve this 3-inch to meet with this 4-inch. This 3-inch, not like this. Like this is 4 corner. If you're cutting it like this, is 4 corner. But if you're cutting a round neck, when you go somewhere like this, when it gets to like 1.5 inch, somewhere like 1.5 inch, you now change your curve your hand. You're now going like this. When you reach here, you now move to meet with this one. You see the way I moved it to meet with this one. When you reach here, you curve. The same thing with armpit. So now your shoulder is how many inch? 14. So divided it into 2 is 7. Plus sewing allowance is going to be 7.5. So this is where you're measuring your shoulder 7.5. Is 7 plus sewing allowance 7.5. Then your armhole. Your armhole is 7. That is your armpit is 7. Let's give it 7.5 for your armpit. So this is your shoulder and this is your armpit. So you are not going to cut it 4 corner like this to get your shoulder. So the same thing you did to get this one, that's the same thing you do here. You measure 1.5. So in this 1.5 point here now, when you're going, you now curve. When you get to this 1.5, you switch your hand like this. You saw what I did. When you get to this 1.5 points, you curve. You don't do it 4 corner. It's wrong. So this is the actual neck. This is the actual armhole. So the next thing you're doing is under this your armhole, that's where you're measuring your bust allowance, your bust. So now your bust is 30. 30 divided by 2 is 15. 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. 7.5 plus 2-inch allowance. So your measurement is 7.5 plus 2-inch sewing allowance is 8.5, 9.5. So your bust is 9.5. So you measure your 9.5 from the under bust. That's where you're taking your bust measurement. So now you measure your where you will take your from under the armpit. That's where you're taking the bust measurement. Then you measure your under bust. Your under bust is how many? From the shoulder to the under bust, I think you do not put that measurement down. But from your shoulder to your under bust should be around 13. So now in this 13 points here, that's where you're taking your under bust measurement. And your under bust measurement is 23. 23 now divided by 28 divided by 4 is divided by 2 is 14. Check what you are videoing. Divided by 2 is 14. 14 divided by 2 is 7. So your under bust is 7 plus 2-inch allowance is 9. 9. So now you are curving this your bust to meet with your waist. The next thing you're going to measure is your lower waist. Your lower waist, which is the down of the top. So now your lower waist is how many? 31. 31 divided by 2 is 15 and a half. 15 and a half divided by 2 is 7 and quarter. 7 and quarter plus 2 inch is 9 and quarter. This is it. So you're now moving this to meet with this. And you cut. So this is the front of your top. This is the front of your top. So now you use this same thing to trace to get the back of your top. So now getting the back is just to make sure those things are not showing. Getting the back is just to make sure that you do the same thing. You're just adding allowance to the top. This is very nice. So you leave 1 inch allowance for zip allowance. Zip allowance of 1.5 inch. 1.5 inch. I use the tape showing. Yes. 1.5 inch zip allowance. Why the rest things are the same? The rest things are the same. The only thing is 1.5 inch zip allowance that you're leaving for every part. Zip allowance of 1.5 inch. So this is where your top is to be. Here like this. But every other thing you are cutting is the same. Every other thing you are cutting is the same. I'm coming, I'm busy. Zip allowance out. You're not even showing where my hand has reached, madam. Then for the neck, you are going to cut the neck the same, but the depth of the neck is not going, the back is not going down as much as the front. But you are cutting it the same from this point here. And when you get to somewhere like here, you fall. Back and front cannot be the same. But if you want your back to be deeper, you can bring it down anyhow you want your back to be, but back and front cannot be the same. So this is your top, the back and front of your top. Then